Hey guys, I wanted to bring you a quick video real quick. I saw this YouTuber guy who's talking about the A6700, how it's going to overheat and he can't get it because he heard a YouTuber say it was in direct sunlight and it overheated in an hour or something like that. I'm like, all these other YouTubers are not saying that overheating is a major problem. Okay, even if it will overheat in direct sunlight for an hour, really? He said, well, I need to use it for 2 hours, probably in the direct sunlight, maybe. He said all he does is take photos and videos of his families and stuff. But really, you're going to leave it in direct sunlight for 2 hours, black camera in direct sunlight, electronic, running full force, and you're gonna leave it in the direct sunlight like that for 2 hours and wonder why your battery usually won't even last that long. So people will do anything for views. I'm sorry, but for me, that seems kind of ridiculous, right? If you're gonna, I think the A6700 is a little overpriced. I mean, it's a great camera, I'm sure, but for 100, 200, I think it's $200 less is what it should be going for. But that's just my opinion. And I think it'll be a great camera, of course. But I got the ZV-10. It's gonna have basically the same image quality, other than the all the features and specs and all that, and the color grading and all that, but I don't color grade much anyway, so it doesn't matter. So what does that mean to me? I still want the camera, I want to play with it. However, because of the features and specs, it's just fun. But to say that it's going to overheat if I leave it in direct sunlight for an hour and a half, listen, if that's the case, get the X30. But for 98% of us, you're not going to put it in direct sunlight right on a tripod or whatever, carry it around and say, oh, here's the sun. Let me put it right in the sun. There's the sun. We're gonna put it right directly in the sun, 90-degree weather for 3 hours, and hopefully it runs and don't shut off. Well, then you're gonna need a fan, okay? I mean, that should be kind of an obvious thing for most people, that if you're gonna leave it in direct sun, any camera, any black camera in the sun for that long, that you're gonna have issues, all right? People like to do this even with some other cameras. So you look at the Canon R8, people down that camera. I got the R8, I've used it, never had it overheat on me. I used it today for 4K 60 for, I don't know what it was, half hour or whatever. Never had a problem. Sitting on a tripod. It's like 73 degrees, 74, 75 degrees in my house. So it wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean? And if you think it might overheat, then you put a little fan on it, right? But I use the R8 on 4K 24 or whatever for some of the YouTube videos and stuff. And I just did a low light test between the ZV-10 and the Canon R8. Fine, no problem, no overheating or anything. But if you want to get a little $15 fan, put a little fan on it, and you don't have to worry about it. I'm not saying you should have to do that. Of course, we shouldn't have to, but this, whatever. I'm saying it's an easy fix. It's not a problem unless you're going to use it out and about in direct sunlight for hours at a time. Okay, maybe. But for most people, really think about your use case. I don't know who you are, but I don't see that happening for most people without ever shutting the camera off even, remember? Because it's like you're going to leave it in direct sunlight for 2 hours at a time running it. Oh, it's going to overheat, I can't buy it. Well, that I don't think is a legit, for most people, a legit reason not to buy that camera. Like I said, it might be a little overpriced just because I'm kind of a cheapskate on cameras. I think they charge a little too much for them. But, hey, I like them. I like to play with them. And that's just the way it is. I just wanted to give you a quick shout out on that and let you know my thoughts on that. To just kind of be wary of YouTubers. Sometimes they say things that they just want views. Why would you even word it like that? Why not just word it out like, I think the A6700 for me might not work because I am personally going to use it 100% for 3 hours in the direct sunlight. So I'll get the FX30. Well, that should be pretty obvious. Do you really need to make a video about that? I mean, I don't know. It just seems like, hey, I want to put a flashy title up and then I'm going to go and make this stuff up, that, it's going to overheat in 2 hours in the sunlight. Well, of course, probably. I don't doubt it would. What camera wouldn't unless it has a fan, So I don't know. I'm not trying to defend the A6700 or anything like that. I'm just saying, it's common sense, Just some common sense on that. That for most people, I think it's going to be fine as far as overheating. But we'll see. We'll see when the reviews come out. But, we'll see. We'll be able to see if I was right or not. So we'll look back on this in a month after more and more reviews come out of people actually having it and using it for their use case. And we will see. All right, guys, just wanted to throw that out. Yeah, see what you thought. Leave some comments below. Maybe I'm crazy. You know, maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe your camera should run 5 hours in the direct sunlight, 2 hours in direct sunlight. I mean, generally your battery is going to run out before then. Maybe you're even your SD card, depending on what you're shooting. But I don't know. Well, leave your comments below and let me know what you think. But I think for the majority of people, I don't think it's going to be an issue, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be fine running on tripod, YouTube videos, doing some general vlogging. If the ZV-E1, which overheats faster than the A6700 would, I'm sure, people are still using that in content creation and all that without any major issues, then I'm sure the 6700, which is going to run cooler, I'm sure of it, is going to do fine. But hey, let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm wrong, and talk to you later, guys. Later.